I would like to introduce our guests on stage, Stedman Graham, Mr. Kevin Spacey, Meagan Good, and Jonathan Majors. Thank you. Welcome in Amsterdam. Let's start. So we're going to talk about AI in the film industry. The first question is, how is AI currently transforming the film and media industry? Who wants to start?
Whoa. Okay. We'll dive in together. Okay. So how is AI transforming the film and media landscape? Can I just give my opinion about AI?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I think AI is a great creation. I should preamble. It's a great creation, and I think creatives created it. And I think that we are, from my point of view, we are in a space of almost existential kind of crisis in a way when it comes to being creatives, because now there's a machine that is smarter than us. This is a fact. Smarter than us, faster than us, and can work tirelessly. As much as we try to work tirelessly, this machine can do that. I think that where the four individuals on this stage and the members of the audience who are part of the film, media, etc. industry, where we have an upper hand is that we are the original creatives. And whereas AI can make things, in my experience, it's a matter of a remix, right? They take what we do, what we generate, and they remix it. And they remix it in ways that are so nuanced we could never think of it. However, the germ of what they make is from us. And so what I've noticed in AI when it comes to film and television is that's exactly what they're trying to do, right? It is a replica of our life. And anything that we put our minds to, and AI is something we put our minds to, will get better and better and better and better and better. And I think what it shows to us is the challenge that we have as creatives, right? I think there will be a movement within the creative fields to push ourselves forward, right? To dig deeper, to find stories that, not that AI can't create, but to be the true instruments of inspiration. Mm-hmm. And I don't think AI can do that. And because of that, I think it can serve as a partner. You know, it can save our times, it can push our call times, hopefully, sometimes. You know, it can let us rap early, hopefully. But ultimately, I think it's going to be, though threatening, I will say it is a bit threatening. Ultimately, if we as a group of creatives and industry makers make a commitment to ourselves, right, to dig deeper into our work and to be more creative, we will survive, and our industries will then thrive, and we will have, you know, not to be cliche, some type of renaissance, you know, within our work. And I think that's, AI or not, I think that's necessary.
Yeah, thank you so much. What do you think, Stedman? I see that you are thinking.
Yeah, I had a little experience with AI with my work. I'm not in the film industry, but I am in the film industry in terms of producing content that can be communicated to different channels anywhere in the world. And now we have a platform and a network that we can use to distribute. We have our own distribution network and opportunities to create and design our own platforms and materials. So that was a huge thing that we didn't have before. And I had some experience with it in the fact we're building a course from my identity leadership program, and I don't have to be there. AI does the work. It's me. It's a digital image of me, and it's a digital recording of my voice and all of that. It's a fascinating process that it will answer questions better than I could answer them. And the image can be there, the voice can be there. It sounds like me. I was blown away by that process. So to create content around that, and then to represent your brand in a way that you don't have to be there, and you have a platform that you can build through, to me is a testament to the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
I think it's a bit of a balance, you know, to what both of them were saying. While I believe that AI is an incredible tool and what it can do is kind of mind-blowing at this point, I think the one thing that it can't replicate is the true heart posture and the true spirit of a human being, and the way, and especially when we talk about films, whether it's producing or acting or whatever it is, us as human beings, the way that we radiate and emote and the way that we express ourselves in any given character, I think some of the best performances come from when you feel that person's heartbeat. And in that sense, I think that that's something that can't be replicated. And so I think it's really important to make sure that we do have some version of a renaissance that allows us to keep that part of it. I think, you know, if we're talking like an action movie, we're having a different conversation. But if we're talking a specific type of film where the performance is really what's going to lead and what's really going to affect people, I think in that sense we have to be careful to preserve and to protect. So I think it's both wonderful and something that needs to be used, and then it's also something that can't be used for everything, and I think it's important not to use it for everything, but to figure out how and when, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Kevin.
I appreciate all of your perspectives. When I think about the experiences that I've had, either doing plays or on film sets, the magical part that I recall, that I carry with me, are the memories that I have of these moments between myself and another actor, or a director, or a cinematographer, when happy accidents occur that none of us could have thought of, none of us could have invented or created. What happened in the moment was that we shared something, we trusted each other. I don't know that I'll ever be able to trust an AI device, but I can trust my fellow artists. And when they trust me, and when we believe in the work, and we're coming there to try to tell a story that we want to share with an audience so that they feel something, that I don't think AI can ever achieve.
Yes. Thank you. I totally agree with the four of you. So any questions from the audience?
My name is Arina. I'm an ICT professional since 1995. And what's the biggest problem of AI is for me is the sustainability part of it. Because I know sustainability part of it.
Okay.
Because I know from my profession that AI is not sustainable. And that's my comment. So only negative.
Amen.
That was an excellent question. Thank you. Fantastic.
Yeah. Any questions?
If AI is a tool and we as humans have spirit, is it possible for us to use this tool for the good and for the flourishing of our humanity instead of the opposite?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. I think, hopefully that's the plan. You know, I hope everybody, you know, on this stage and in the world, or I mean, yeah, we all listen to a podcast, right? It's like, oh my God, it's AI gonna take us down. Is it gonna take us down? Maybe, you know what I mean? But my perspective is that we have to lean towards the positive, right? That it will, as Brother Stedman was saying, make things easier in some ways, you know. So I do think that it's built as a helper. So yeah, I think we're in good shape. I just think that there has to be knowledge, right, and a culture around AI within the artist class, right, within the entertainment class, right, within our industry, where we have a covenant, a vow, right, that we continue to dig deep to find the moments that Brother Spacey was talking about, right, that between human being, you know, those accidents, those magical moments, those divine moments. As long as we have that in mind, I do think AI will, you know, staff will get cut, some actors won't have jobs, some writers won't have jobs. Well, we will have to then, you know, Kevin and I share conservatory training. It's a cutthroat game, right? You come in with 16 people, and hopefully those same 16 are there when you graduate, right? You come into the industry, you're hoping to make it. Maybe this guy gets you, maybe this guy gets you, you know, or maybe AI gets you. You just got to work harder, right? You got to stay in those rehearsal rooms. You've got to cultivate relationships in your life that allow you to really work from your pure artist. And I think what AI will do, you know, is demand that. Right, you have to eat, right? And in order to do that, we have to use the resources and harvest the fruits of our labor, which is our creativity. And so I think AI is in some cases a handicap, but ultimately is a help fellow. And if we can, and you can't, you know, make an entire group of people think that way. But for me and the sets I'm on and the people I work with, and married too. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying, babe. I think that it.
Baby, don't call me baby in front of people.
I mean, that's your
Go ahead,
darling.
I think that it's a delicate balance, you know, between literally what Stedman and Kevin are saying, is that there are times when it's needed and it's important and it's an incredible tool, and then there's other times like when we're talking about spirit and soul, and that's not something that can be recreated. It's something that can be, as you said, remixed, or something that could be emulated, but it doesn't embody the true spirit and soul. And so I think it's just important that I feel like it's supported in the spaces where it could be used in the best way, and that it's not supported in ways where it takes over something that it's not meant to take over, that you can't really replicate, because it is the heart and the spirit, and that is something that is so divine and so specific that a computer and all the science and all the intelligence in the world can't recreate the human heart and spirit, you know.
Thank you, Meagan. Stedman?
Well, I would say that AI without ID doesn't work well.
Period.
So you really need to understand yourself, understand your vision of who you want to become or what you're creating. I think you need to be clear on what possibilities are out there. I think there needs to be a lot of research done around the platform that you're creating to find out if there's a market for it. I think you have these tools available to you, AI being one of those tools, as well as many other technology tools. I think it's all the future. I think that small businesses and organizations that aren't focusing on a technological framework for their business and for what they do are going to be outdated. I think it's a great tool for individuality and personalized learning in the training industry, in the school industry, in the college industry. When you can have somebody work on a project for 6 months, and then you give the same project over to AI and they can do it in 2 hours, you know, that becomes a real economic issue.
Yeah.
And also, you know, the person may get sick, or the person may not do it well, may not do a great job. So I think the application of it around a leadership platform, which is you, to dictate what you're looking for, how to build social economic value around the work that you're doing. It's just like this gentleman said, and I'm sure that some of us up here are saying it's a tool, but you run the tool.
So you stay in the lead, and the AI is just a tool. You put in what you want to.
I'm saying
see as an
that
outcome.
the AI really works well when you develop yourself, and you know who you are and where you're going, and you focus on all your talents and skills, and it's a tool to enhance your value.
Yes, thank you.
Amen.
All right.
I would just remind us that your question is exactly the same question that has been asked about every tool that has been invented by man. And whether that's the newspapers, or the light bulb, or radio, or television, or the internet, the question of, can we make this work in a way that's good for us, have been questions we've been facing for a long time. It is the latest and newest tool, but it's a composition of questions and a struggle that we have faced forever, and we will face again.
Thank you. So, Kevin, aren't you afraid of AI?
Well, I don't really think that I can be afraid of something that I don't fully understand and I haven't fully experienced working in.
No, just because it's so mysterious. Maybe that's why people are afraid, because it's so smart and it can do so much things human also can, but faster.
Yeah, but again, okay, I'll tell you a story, and maybe this will illustrate why I'm not particularly afraid. So I did a film called Glengarry Glen Ross. It was one of the very early films. Thank you. And I was young, I was just starting out, and I found myself in this movie with Al Pacino and Ed Harris and Jack Lemmon, and I was like the junior tennis player with a racket, just trying not to get hit by a ball every day. It was just terrifying. And I had a scene one day where I had to stand up and sit down, and stand up and sit down, and stand up and sit down. And I did a take, and I stood up and I sat down like this, and I stood up and I sat down like this. And so we took a little break, and we were going to move the camera around, and there was a guy named Vinnie Gerardo. Vinnie Gerardo was a New York guy in the camera department. He was the focus puller. And let me tell you, with Pacino, he was very fast, because Al never hit a mark to save his life. And so he was constantly just, and Vinnie was waiting for this next shot, and he said to me, he said, Kevin, it's like one of your first movies, right? I said, yeah, Vinnie, it is. It's like the first real part I've had. He goes, yeah. You don't mind a little advice? I said, what? He goes, you don't mind a little advice? I said, no, not at all. He said, people ain't paying good money to see the top of your head. I said, what? He said, people ain't paying good money to see the top of your head. You're getting up like this. You're getting down like this. You're getting up like this.
Wow.
He said, sit down like this. Stand up like this. That's what people want to see as your face. And I thought, this is a focus puller who was looking out for me.
Yeah.
And gave me a piece of advice that maybe nobody else would have had the guts to do, but Vinnie did. And I thank God for Vinnie Gerardo. He was a wonderful man. He helped me in a moment, something I wasn't even aware I was doing. And that, again, is something AI will never get close to doing. So I have no fear of AI.
Thank you, great answer. Okay, tell me how AI changed your work when you started your career and how you are working now.
Well, I don't know how. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah,
Who is already using AI now?
I feel, at least in my experience, it feels fairly new to me. To be completely honest, the first time I had really at least became aware of AI in that way was when Paul Walker passed away, and it was the Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it really bothered me. that there was AI in the end of the movie. I think his brother helped with it as well. And it was a weird thing because, of course, you know, I wanted to see the movie end, but I also knew that he had passed away, and I also knew this was a bit AI. And it was just kind of, it was interesting to me to try to process that experience. And then now, like working with like a DC or different things like that, where you go in and instantly they take all these pictures, they put you in this booth where they take pictures of your body from every single which way. And part of it is for, you know, when you have action stuff, if they need to, you know, adjust things. But other parts of it is if you pass away and they need to finish something, or they need to have you later on so they can still have access to, you know, all of that. And so in that way, it doesn't quite sit 100% well to me, you know, but then in the same spirit of when I'm, you know, writing out what could be, you know, a movie that I want to pitch, and I'm writing out the idea and I have everything down, and then I put it in AI, and AI helps kind of bring all the, you know, different factors in and kind of bring it full circle for me. In that sense, I actually love it. Yeah. So I can't say how it's, again, I would go back to the balance thing. In some ways, it's changed it in a very positive way, and I love to use it in that way. But then when it comes to the very human experience, I think it depends on how it's being used. Like as Stedman said, if it's being used as a teaching tool or as a way for you to extend yourself, something that knows what you are because you've cultivated that relationship and created it to work that way is one thing, you know, and then again, when it comes to like performance or something like that, I think that you just can't compare to a human being being a human being.
All right. So now we're going over to the next round. I will be replacing Stedman Graham. And please, Mahi-san, continue.
Has the subject changed in this round?
I guess so.
No, it's still AI.
Oh, it's still the same subject? Well, then it's not really new.
Do you want another subject?
Yeah.
You can.
This is true.
It's we can talk about diversity and co-production, but I do have an interesting take on AI that I think you guys have not heard before. All right, so what it is even though I'm, you know, in the film industry, when I first heard about AI, I absolutely did not understand it. And then I thought to myself, okay, how can I understand something that I believe is going to become so influential? So then I downloaded Python. It is a programming software, and I built a very simple neural network. And once I did, I fundamentally understood what AI was. And I think for 3 days, I was scared because I realized that unlike other things that we've done in the past where, you know, we invent the wheel, we invent fire, we invent, you know, transistors. What is so fundamentally different about AI is that it mimics our neural system. Unlike binaries where it's like, you know, 0 and 1s, AI works with randomness. It works with random weights and random biases. I always compare this to, and I said this last time on our panel, I compare it almost like to a baby. When you give like a shape, a block shape of a baby that is like a triangle and has to fit in the other thing. What a baby does is it keeps on rotating and rotating until it fits. And that's what AI also is. There is a randomness to it, and that personally is what scares me, because we as humans, we are also random. We also make mistakes. And yes, go ahead.
I'm just curious, does AI only work if you ask it something?
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't think for itself.
So that's another aspect where we only are going to find out what we ask it. We're not going to imagine they're not going to imagine a question. I mean, if we have a conversation, I just think this is all very fascinating, but there is a human element that cannot be diminished.
I agree, indeed, there is a human element, but what surprised me so much about AI is the randomness, is that it literally, it works with random weights and biases. That's how it learns. Like, many people thought with AI that creatives would be the last to be replaced, but we're seeing it now with graphic designers, with logos, with photos.
But don't you think we're living in a time when a lot of people are using just the same kind of random ideas as you're saying AI is? I think human beings use random statistics and random ideas, random
true.
things,
Yeah.
and they're not based on fact.
The problem is the need of certain jobs are falling away. So how do you cope with that?
Yeah, that's the part that really gets me a bit, you know, just kind of being like, you know, proletariat. You know what I mean? I go like, what about the homies? You know, what about the focus puller? You know, like we have, like obviously we have camera, our phones do it for us, right? Not to the degree that it needs to be done on a major motion picture. You know what I mean? Like that's not real. We need that guy back there working it. You know what I mean? Or that gal back there working it. You know, I think the biggest fear of the job replacement is that the community gets replaced, right? Now all of a sudden you're not dealing with people, right? Who knows? Okay, cool. Jay's coming out of his trailer. He's coming in hot. You know what I mean? We got to get this right now. You know what I mean? And the energy, you know what I mean? And the energy that comes from like you hitting the set, and then your number two looking at you like, oh, it's on, right? And the feeling you get, and the boom operator being like, okay, here it comes, right? And the director being like, okay, here it comes. The music's cranked up. Like that moment is captured on a screen. You know what I mean? And when you say cut, the first, I don't know about you guys, right, Kevin and Megan, but the first person I look at when they say cut is my operator. Right, the guy who's holding the camera, he gives me and I go, wicked, we're good. Moving on, right, moving on. You know, you take that away, and now I'm looking at iRobot,
you take away the human spirit.
The humans, I mean, for me, that's, we can park it right there for me, right? Like the human spirit, right? And the creative nature that we have, right? Like, that we naturally have as children, but when you've dedicated your life to this, like a DP has been DPing or trying to DP director of photography. I know we all know, but director of photography, they've been at that for a very long time. You know, like we've trained as actors for a very long time. We've had careers as actors for a very long time. You know, so it's like that energy, right, cannot be replaced.
The soul of a movie.
It's also true, you know, to take a leap from what you just said, it's also true that this has been happening to our industry many times. I mean, it's hard for us to remember now, but when the movie industry went from silent films to talkies, a lot of people never worked again. And they didn't work again because their voices were not the right voices for film. And in fact, one of the reasons that the motion picture and television home exists today is because the biggest stars in Hollywood at the time saw what was happening with their colleagues and their friends who were not getting jobs, and they created a place where they could take care of them in their elder years. That's why the Motion Picture and Television Fund and Home began, was because a huge swath of people who'd had big careers in silent films could not make the transition in the 1930s into talkies.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
I think that's interesting. I'm trying to remember the name of it. What is the movie that John David did that was...
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what it is that, you know, as we sit here, there's always going to be different lines of the spectrum to stand on. Like our passion is always going to be united in some degree because we're actors. You know what I mean? But that passion is going to look different for someone that's a producer, someone who's a studio head, someone who does this, someone who does that. And I think it's important to, I mean, I would say I think there's a wrong version, but that might be unique to my experience. I don't think that I'm wrong, but I also feel like you have to be open to the idea that you could be. And somebody is going to feel as passionate about something else on the flip side because their experience is different. I think we just have to figure out where we stand and passionately stand in preserving that. Because once it's gone, it's gone. You know what I mean? And we can't have that. But yeah.
Some questions from the audience? Yeah? Charles.
It's our boy again.
I have a question.
Yes.
So there's a saying that says, plan for the best, prepare for the worst. And because AI is a tool, it's an extension. It allows you to do more of what you are, your humanness, what's in you. So for you, if you're an artist who's in touch with his humanity and is using that to add on, perfect, better, whatever, attune. But if somebody else is in position where they are about exploiting, manipulating, gain, and that spreads. Should there be like a council, a safeguard to protect people? Or is it only when it's a problem that there's a need to take out the weeds that have spread? That's all about manipulating and exploiting the psychology of the human, because the AI is so much advancer than we are aware of.
I have a perspective on that. I think currently we're in the phase of AI, I call it fragmented geniuses, where they can do one thing really well, like AI can compose music, AI can already write scripts, but it's fragmented. But at a certain point, and most AI researchers know this, we're going to move and transition from fragmented AI to general AI, and then we're in a whole different ballgame. And also, we are currently being, I guess, experimented on by AI. So in Spotify, several labels have been caught, and they still continue to do this, put out lots of AI tracks, just thousands, they upload thousands. Then they see, okay, that one is good, okay, maybe we'll put a real artist on that and we'll make a hit. So it is, I do think that actors and the best of the best will always remain, but I also think, indeed, we're gonna get stiffer competition.
Thank you, John. Okay, can some of you give us, all the filmmakers, the producers, everybody, another question?
And my question is, when you talk about AI, you're going on to internet, and you're going to extract information from all over the world. How do you trust the information that you're getting? What is the buffer, or what tells me that what I'm extracting from AI is actually true? And like, yeah, exactly. Like,
don't you ask the same question by reading the newspaper?
Yeah, but again, what you just said, looking someone in the eye and being on the same script stage as them, you could see in their eyes if they're honest, if they're trustworthy, if the integrity. AI doesn't provide that to you. So how do you trust it from the get-go?
It's, yes.
That's a good question.
I kind of share that fear in that you have the military-industrial complex, and they, in general, are usually 1 or 2 years ahead of something. I could remember, I don't know if I said this last time, but years ago, I saw on YouTube, I saw that Google had figured out how to visualize dreams. I was like, oh my gosh. And then after the presentation, it disappeared and we never heard from it again. Right? So it's, for me, I think AI can do great. It's who is in the hands of things, but you're absolutely right that we do in the world, and we have to be realistic, we do have certain incentives, and we are almost incentivized to earn money and to, become more powerful. So I guess America and China and, Europe, our governments are investing billions in becoming the top or remaining remaining on the top by whatever means necessary.
Yeah, I think we have a responsibility to obviously educate ourselves, but also in that, it's like, it's what you just said. You could pretty much tell us anything, and if we don't know any better, we go that's what happened. That's what happens when people watch TikTok all the time, or this or that, or they're like, did you know this, did you know that? And then you go and you look it up, and even then, when you go and look it up in Google or AI or whatever it is, you're trusting that what you're researching or learning is true, and you don't really know. And that's really scary to me, because at a certain point, the next generation of folks coming into the world, you can literally tell them whatever you want, and I think that's no mean to be political, but it's like that's what's going on with our history in the States being erased, where it's like at a certain point you could say whatever you want and a certain generation just won't know any better. And that to me is a bit terrifying, but in the same breath, I think that's why it's important as best we can to do as much research, to read as many books, the things that have been around longer than just what's been posted there for us as a potential fact, which it may be, but I think that's why, you know, I'm not a big reader, but now I'm like, God, we need books that have been around longer than this and that and this and that and this, things that preceded us being even existed on this planet, is really important. So in that sense, that kind of scares me, because I'm like, so many of us want lightning in a bottle. We don't actually want to do the work to get an answer, which means you can tell us whatever you want to tell us, and half the time we believe it. And so I think it's important to make sure that we preserve and protect our books and our ability to educate ourselves beyond just AI.
I have a question for Kevin Spacey. Because you have years of experience within the film industry, if you were given $1 billion, what would you actually do with that money concerning the film industry? I'm just curious.
Well, first of all, $1 billion is not nearly enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not much.
I think that I would be probably most interested in trying to convince the leaders in lots of other countries who spend a great amount of money and effort building theaters or monuments to themselves, and then what they do with these buildings that have everything you could possibly want in them is they farm in Cirque du Soleil. And they don't spend time, effort, money, focus on developing their own talents in their own country, find the writers, find the directors, find the actors, find the playwrights, find the people who want to tell stories, and support those stories. If I could create a fund that would encourage leaders around the world to embrace their own talent and allow the stories that the people in their country want to tell have an opportunity to be told, because otherwise everyone is going to leave their country and go to New York and go to Los Angeles and go to London to try to be an artist, when in fact they ought to be able to stay in their own country and develop their talents there.
Yeah.
Period.
What you just did is you summarized our vision for Septimius in the future. Yes.
Period.
I thought you wanted the $1 billion to invest it in Septimius as an
No. But okay.
Okay. If you guys can give the audience and all the people that work in the film industry one piece of advice for the people who have fear of AI taking their jobs, or how they can work with AI, how they can keep the soul in the movie and the actors. Yeah, what would it be?
Well, I guess my advice, and I think it was said before, is you have to work with it. Just like when we went from analog to digital, right? You know, we used to film everything on film, actual, film, and we needed to process that, and it took a long time. But now we do everything digital. So I think we work with AI, that don't fear it, try and master it, that it works for you.
Okay, thank you. Jonathan, I see you thinking.
Oh,
one piece of advice.
One piece of advice. I would say, if you don't have to, it's coming, y'all. But if you don't have to fool with it, don't fool with it. When it comes to the art form, if you need help with your calendar or getting someplace, cool, do that, right? But I do think the film industry is built up of craftsmen and women, and even if you do convert, right, as time will probably push you to the AI world, I think that as far as the artist spirit goes, you have to cultivate that. That means you have to continue to read your books, continue to look at the techniques, look at the great directors, because whatever they're doing, whatever they did, it inspires you to try to be in rooms like this. It inspires you to be an artist, right? And so before you jump to the next thing, revisit your history, and your history is your craft. What does this frame mean? What does this composition mean? What is iambic pentameter? What is this? How do I break this down? What's the difference between Chekhov and Wilson? Work these things out for yourself, because ultimately what we do, we are professional humans, right? An artist is a professional human. You are supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to learn crazy shit. You're supposed to take that shit, you're supposed to take that stuff and give it to the world in order to inspire them. That's your job. That's it. You know what I mean? Thank you, brother.
Love it.
Take it away about AI, different perspective, the music and the special effects industry, but also bring it more broader, diversity, co-production.
So, Chris Gotti, Mr.
Yes.
Murder Inc.
Yes.
Short introduction. His experience lies in producing chart-topping hits for numerous artists like Ashanti, Ja Rule, Jennifer Lopez, JC, DMX. Impressive.
Yes,
Welcome.
yes,
Can I have a big applause? Thank you. Neil, we met earlier today. Welcome. 2 times Oscar-winning British special effects supervisor, best known for his work as major blockbuster films like Gladiator, Saving Private Ryan, Star Wars Story, and Black Hawk Down. Thank you. Welcome.
Yes.
Hi. Welcome.
Thank you.
We were looking for you. So, Georges Ashdalou is an Oscar-nominated Iranian and American actress, primetime Emmy winner, and a Satellite Award winner, in addition to a nomination for an Academy Award. Very impressive. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Jan Willem, you want other subjects than AI?
I'm curious from the music industry perspective and the special effects, and then, I don't know, bring it broader. Too.
So, how can we increase cooperation between countries in film production?
I think it's just about education and getting the word out there. There's very many talented people all over the world, and they just need to be found. I know within the Visual Effects Society, there's a big outreach every year where we reach all the, sort of the minor countries to find people, because people are doing visual effects everywhere. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you could ever think of. It's very small countries, and part of the Visual Effects Society is to go out there and find them and make them part of our community. We view their films every year. Any film that's sent into like the Academy, there's a group of I think like 30 odd people that sit down and view. We have like 10 to 12 movies each to watch for the first round. So that we make sure that every movie gets seen from all over the world. Whoever enters their movie, we make sure that it gets seen, and then it's a recommendation to whether it's put forward. But for me, it's like education, getting the word out there.
Yeah, good one. Thank you.
And apart from that, we also have a committee, a certain committee at the Academy, which is called Outreach Committee. What we do, we travel to far, far places. We try to introduce ourselves, our movies, get to know their movies, talk to them, and try to do a collaboration, as far as you can imagine. And ever since I was young, I always thought that we, us, showmakers, we belong to one tribe only, regardless of the color of our skin, accent, background, barrier, borders, regardless of all. We need and we should be able to tell a story together. And we've been trying to do this. I've been trying to do this at least for 23 years now, and it's always been positive and had a great outcome. So we are doing it, already doing it, but it's getting better and better and better. Because as Alfonso Cuarón mentioned, movies from other countries are no longer foreign movies, they're international movies. So we're trying to do international movies together, tell the story together.
Nice, thank you.
Agreed. This is one culture. We are one. And education, as Neil said, this is everything, to understand where you are and understand that we are one in the same fight to create greatness for the world.
Yeah. And how does it work in the film industry? How can you increase the cooperation between countries?
Well, something like this, the Septimius Awards, and this is exactly what will help other countries unite. This is the platform for it. This is the first that I know about. I love what you have here. And this is what's going to bring the countries together.
Yes, thank you. What barriers currently limit international collaboration?
Politics, I assume. But that we can deal with that too. It's not that difficult.
Listen, in the music industry, we didn't care. No one had a care of. It was no political problems.
Yeah.
When this man reaches out, they're gonna come. They just have to know the existence of it, the purpose of it, and why it's here, and the value it will have for their career in whatever country they're from.
Yeah.
So for me, it's
no
very
barrier.
simple. It's very simple.
At the end of the day, it's all about us, the tribe.
The tribe, I love that.
Power or
the fraternity.
Political fraternity. You said
fraternity.
It. Absolutely.
This is the fraternity.
Yeah. So we don't care.
Okay. You want to add something?
Say something.
No, they said it all. It's good.
Oh, it's. I know I've been very, skeptical of the effects of AI, but I actually forgot to mention something, that AI actually also has the possibility to unify us in ways that were never before. So to kind of give you an idea, one of the reasons why Netflix is so successful, and for example, take Squid Game, for example. Most people do not watch Squid Game in Korean. You watch it in your own language. Now, what it is that is an entire team of translators, and that costs a lot of money. They sometimes translate it into 20 or 30 different languages. But with AI, that can be done almost automatically, whereby you create one film in English, and with AI, YouTube is already doing it, by the way. With AI, it then automatically gets translated in Chinese, in, what is it?
Name it.
Multiple,
Italian. Expanse was 42 languages.
Yeah, so she started in a show that got translated, dubbed in 42 languages.
Wow.
So that, I think, is also another thing where it's like AI has the ability to unite us in such a way where it can almost make our language differences disappear, because because it costs a lot, instead of spending hundreds of thousands, it gets done automatically, so we all can see and enjoy films from a foreign language.
Yes.
Thank you. Neil, tell me how AI changed your work when you started your career and how you are working now.
I started in 1978 on a movie called Superman the Movie, and it was a lot of old-fashioned sort of visual effects, if you like, back then, special effects, puppets, guys on wires, miniatures, all that sort of thing. And I've seen it evolve over the years. I think back in the sort of early 20s, there was a big thing with the visual effects. Supervisors were saying special effects will be a thing of the past. They gave us like 5 years, and then they said it will all be digital. Well, I'm still here 35 years later, probably stronger than we've ever been, practical effects. But it's, I've seen the AI evolving over the last few years. With different techniques that they use, and it is, you do have to embrace it, but it is scary at the same time, but the other thing is as well is that AI doesn't always get it right. I went into GTP, and I just thought I'll see what it knows about me. And I asked it how many nominations I'd got, Oscars, and it got it completely wrong. And then I said, well, what about this film? I said, oh yes, sorry, we forgot about that. You've got this. And I went, no, you're still wrong. So,
but that's dangerous.
It took me 3 times to get the right answer with me correcting it. So it was just an exercise. I just thought, how much does it actually know? So it does get things wrong. And I think we touched on it earlier. They said about, how can we trust it? I think you have to double check it. Don't take what it says as gospel. It's an idea.
Well, in other words, it still needs human attention.
100%. Yeah. It's like I think somebody said earlier, unless you ask it something, you're not going to get an answer. So it can't just give.
True.
AI, the more specific you are, the better it is for you.
Yeah.
So the more information you feed it, the better the result is. And when you talk about, I know the panel that was here just a minute ago, they was talking about it. AI is going to be something that we all have to understand is not leaving anytime soon. It's only going to get greater and greater and better. AI is something that might create a cure for all diseases. Why? Because it could run billions of times that same question. What causes this? What causes that? And give you an answer. Yeah. So in the film industry, if I was saying where the future might end up going, you had actors up here, great actors up here. It might become an AI-generated actor.
Yeah.
Let's say Kevin was up here. It might be an AI-generated movie with Kevin, let's say. And he has to license his name, likeness, voice.
And what do you think about it? Do you like this?
Do I like it? There's so many things in the world that I don't like that I cannot change. I only could affect what I can change. I cannot change that technology. I don't know that technology to create it, to create the, let's say, the opposite of it or to change it. So I couldn't have an opinion on that. Certain things we're just stuck with. We have to deal with it because it is, right? We don't have the ability to change it. But in this industry, it will make his job better. See, technology is here for one purpose, to make your life easier. That's all technology is about. So it's going to be about how you utilize it. So if I said it was an AI, let's call it AI Kevin Spacey, right? He would have to be the consultant of AI Kevin. He should not be excluded from that part. Yeah. He should be fully included. So if he doesn't love what it created, then they would have to fix and change it. But it's so simplistic. There's technology right now that I'm looking into that could do that exact thing, which could use someone's picture, image, and voice and create them in any scene. Like when you think special effects, I could blow up this room and it's no cost.
Do you think we need legislation to use AI in the future?
So music was hit probably first. I'm music industry with, and AI in music, they went about it because they could recreate artists. These artists was getting hundreds of millions of streams, AI artists. Let's call it AI Drake. He's getting hundreds of millions of streams. And yes, they created legislation to slow it down. It will not stop it. The record labels, the question is, will the movie houses, the Universal Pictures and Sony Pictures, will they take the side of that or not? That's out of our control. Yeah. We can do all the picketing and fighting we want, but the powers that be have the financial wherewithal to actually change things. And if they say, this is how we want to make our money, because we don't want to deal with an actor not showing up, the insurance that comes inside of these things is crazy. I've been part of those things where we couldn't insure an actor because they were so unreliable. This gets eliminated. Now, am I pro AI? No, but I cannot change it, and I do see value in it. And then we have to protect our value as humans, or the actors, the creators. Again, you should be able to use these tools, but you should be the one with the vision. Yeah. It's not AI, and you're the one telling AI what to do. There's always going to be someone telling AI what to do.
So use AI, but always use your mind.
Yeah.
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 Never trust it fully, because then you can make some weird things.
But to me, that's the biggest fear for the movie industry
Yeah.
is complete elimination. That's what they're talking about with music, where we could recreate artists. But now, imagine if Drake said, "Here, go ahead, take my name, image, and likeness." AI is going to make hundreds of songs immediately.
Do you see a positive impact in the music industry using AI?
No.
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 Do you want to think about that answer?
That was a good answer.
Listen, it is what it is. I still think if I can't get, from an artist's perspective, like with music, one of the biggest connections is concerts. How can I do that? Am I going to use a fake person? Like, where does that come into play? Like that concert connection with artists. So the movie connection, if you're in, you know, in not Hollywood, but on Broadway, a play, that's a different kind of connection. Hollywood, when you're making film, that's the magic of Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And that's the scary part, in my opinion, for AI and where actors may stand. But like I said, they wouldn't be cut out. They would be involved with the process. And when you think of the positives, how many movies can they make? Oh my God, they can make a ton of movies now, make a lot more money when you think about it from a different perspective and just remove that part. If you just think business, and this is how I feel Universal Pictures is going to look at it, right? This is how they're going to look at it. They're going to like, we can make so much more money and create so many more opportunities if you just sign over here your name, image, and likeness for me to use it.
Yeah.
That's a really, again, I bring business to this set because that's what I'm from. My background is business, and I understand why they would do it.
I didn't expect another answer from you because you're from the old school super hits.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I surprised a lot of people.
Do we have any questions for Neil, Chris, or Shure?
Yeah, I think it's about, as I said earlier, it's about education. It's about telling these people, and the more we put in, like you say, the more we put into a program like ChatGPT or something like that, then that word's gonna get out. I mean, one of the funny things that I use AI for the most is doing my contracts with the studios. Because I'll get this 12-page document which I have no idea, because it's jargon that it's like talking Japanese to me, and the bits that I don't understand, I use ChatGPT, and it tells me exactly what I need to know, but it also gives me an answer back to send their lawyers that are earning millions of dollars a year, and I find that very helpful because so I'm a big thumbs up for that side of AI.
Well, Miss AI, let me tell you something. AI could be useful, very much so, for flashbacks. Just imagine if I play the Queen of Iran, and it's a historical film, and we need to show some flashbacks. Who's better than AI if we want to be truly authentic? That could be useful. AI could be useful, could do a great job. Don't you think so?
Yeah. And as far as even in the playing field, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's to me one of the biggest parts that I see to AI, that someone from anywhere USA, anywhere Netherlands, it doesn't matter, could now take all that information just with their creative ideas and create something with AI just because they have an idea, the thought. They don't know how to have to do it. AI writes code. It could create program. It does everything you could imagine. And I tell everyone in the room, if you're not on it, you're behind. In technology, if you get left behind, you're in a bad place. You have to stay current, at least know and use it and understand it will help your life right now. No matter what you are doing, it will help you. And that's that's the part of AI you have to accept. Again, and understand it. There's going to be good and bad parts no matter what it is. No matter what it is. You mentioned that men made it that might have their own opinions, and men made everything with their own opinions that may not coincide with what you think or how I think. It doesn't matter. So it's what you get out of it, and it's going to be what you put into it. AI could do a lot for everybody in this room.
All right. We're now going to go to the next round. So I'm going to leave the stage, and Simone, Mink, Ruben, Brave. So we're getting, all four of us are going to leave the stage, and we're going to get a whole fresh new batch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, welcome everybody.
Thank you.
Claudio, you are an Italian-Mexican producer based in the Netherlands. You co-founded the Waves, and you are a creative director at the New Producers Academy. Can I have a big applause for Claudio?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. How you doing, brother?
Ruben Brave, welcome. Ruben Brave is a Dutch internet pioneer and entrepreneur. He is the founder and CEO of Intelligence BV and an academic business incubator. Brave is also actively involved in various boards, including the Internet Society Netherlands and Championing Innovation and Inclusion. Welcome. Simone Mink, welcome, is a tech leader with 15 years of experience. She's head of product operation at Mendix, the leading low-code platform by Siemens. And you are here now today with us. Thank you. Sergeant Major, we spoke earlier today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sergeant Major is a former Disney film distribution executive that worked in Burbank, California at Walt Disney Studios, and he did a lot of movies like Avengers, Black Panther, The Lion King, and Star Wars.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to talk about AI, but you can tell me more things than AI if you want. But let's start first. Claudio, how is AI currently transforming the film and media industry for you?
For me in particular, as you mentioned, I'm also the founder of the New Producers Academy, which we want to bring more representation behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, of course, we create some sort of new producers that normally don't have the opportunity to come into the industry. We train them, we give them scholarships. We have the opportunity to partner with Netflix, which gives them also a grant to produce a film, because in our industry, you need to learn by doing, particularly if before you have never had the opportunity to come into the industry. So, of course, for us, it's very important that the producers that we are bringing into the industry,
mm-hmm.
if you link to your questions about AI, I think it's very important as well that we give them the specific training and the opportunities. If the industry is going into that direction, that AI is going to be a very big part of the workflow of different sectors in the industry, of course, for us it's very important also to bring the experts, filmmakers, producers that are already using AI in order to train this new generation of producers to have the right tools, right? We don't want them to start we don't want them to start already. For them it's quite difficult to come into the industry, because we know that also the film industry is very niche,
mm-hmm.
Very dominant from certain cultures, and of course we want also to be much more authentic and much more representative in that sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's, definitely that's something that is important for us.
How is that for you, Simona?
I think I come from a very different angle, right? Being a woman in tech, I work in software. I'm glad that my mic isn't jinxed like my fellow. But to repeat your point that you made, right? So AI is something that's predominantly created by men with data that is biased. So there's a lot of potential issues with the usage of AI through that. And if I try to relate that back to the film industry, if I think of questions that I get asked as a woman in tech, I've been asked, do you think you have more testosterone than the average woman, and that's why you're successful in tech? Because you have to be masculine, right, in order to have a career, which I think, it's ridiculous, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I could imagine that there's the same struggle for maybe female directors or bias against actresses. And what we see in tech happening already today is there's what we call a competence penalty. So people who use AI for coding, for example, are deemed less qualified or less capable of writing that code themselves. But that penalty is more severe for women, significantly so. So women are being punished for using AI, are therefore not adopting AI, and are falling further behind in the creation of more AI tools, learning about it. And I'm just a question, just rhetorical, I guess, is would that competence penalty translate into the film industry? So let's say directors start using AI for their work, or camera people, or whatever. Would female producers, directors, actresses be criticized more harshly for using AI than men? And I'm curious to see how that's
Is that proven, or do you think that?
I'm curious to see that. It's proven in software. It's proven in tech that that's happening. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ruben, the internet pioneer, what do you think about this AI transformation in the world?
Big question.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Great to be here, by the way, on this panel. I think, when we look at what was the success of the internet, was that power actually got distributed. So the internet is mostly made out of all kind of nodes connecting with each other, and basically because information can spread widely and also in a non-controlled manner, you're able to democratize knowledge and liberate actually also underrepresented groups or talents that previously were unforeseen. The interesting thing about AI is, of course, we look at artificial intelligence only at the layer of applications. But underneath that layer of application, there's a hardware layer where chips, computer hardware actually is being used. And there are a few players actually in the world who are in control of that infrastructure. So again, when you look at the internet, it was about spreading power, and now it's being centralized again. And that centralization of power is something to be concerned about, because we're talking about the film industry. For me, the film industry is about narratives, it's about stories. So the persons or the organizations who control the infrastructure that is used to create new narratives also control how we see ourselves and the world around us.
Yeah.
So it's a long answer, but I really believe that we should really look at companies like, of course, OpenAI, but also underneath that, NVIDIA, buy shares actually of those companies to have a say as shareholder activist actually, because we want to control the narratives that AI is going to create. So that's how I see it. And on a lighter note, I mean, when you look at the X-rated industry, the not so not suitable for work industry, you can see all that development of AI-generated movies coming up, which are used.
How do you think that we can keep the world more human in the future and not all AI?
Well, I think that for me, it's about critical thinking. So this is a good question actually. So when a story is being presented to you, even if it's generated through AI, you are likely to believe it. But through critical thinking, so the evaluation of information that is presented to you, you're able to see through the
noise.
The noise that is being created through that that movie.
Yeah.
And so basically what I'm saying is we should train ourselves to be more independent thinkers and also have more autonomous thoughts, to be critical about the media or the
So we need to start with the youth, the children, schools.
Definitely.
And campaign, use your own brain, but you can use it as a tool like that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just one example, my daughter, for instance, she said to me, "Daddy, do you know that the word for homework in Latin, if you spell it backwards, it means child abuse."
Oh, wow.
I thought, wow. And I have been to a gymnasium, so I know the Latin word for homework is not that way around. But of course, she hasn't been there. And I said to, and what I find interesting is that even if she was looking on information on the internet, she was only confirmed in that was the case. So we had a big conversation about how do you weigh information, how do you stay critical, how do you stay true to your own values actually when you see something, because you need to have that filter for narratives that are presented to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Surgeon Major, you look very impressive. I think everybody in the audience thinks, where did you start? And tell us something about your career.
Sure, thank you for pivoting. Sure, I'm the son of a single family home, went into the military, served 32 years, 6 combat tours. But the way I got into Hollywood is back in early 2000, should I say middle 2000, there was a crisis in Hollywood. They needed some positive public relations, and I flew into Dubai and met an executive from Disney, and I escorted him into combat zone into Afghanistan, Kandahar and Kabul, and we showed a movie. Went into Syria and different places, that thing or whatever, and that led me to being kind of recruited into Hollywood. So I went from, after retiring at 32 years, I went from the military into the #1 military in the world, U.S. Army, into the #1 entertainment company in the world, Walter Studios Motion Pictures. So it was there. I always said everything is because of, timing and grace and God, right? But it was there that I was fortunate enough to work on and be a part of the strategy, the green light, Black Panther. So it being the first movie of its kind to, go over $100 million production cost budget with a black director, Ryan Coogler, all black cast. You guys know the cast. And for the movie to go on to, to make $1.3 billion at the box office, made a significant contribution to the industry. And as you know, it's a copycat game, just like in NFL, NBA. If somebody wins at something, everybody tries to repeat that thing. So every studio tried to do a similar thing, but obviously they failed because there was only one Black Panther, as you know, one that is will be the greatest movie of its kind in the history of Hollywood. But yes, that's kind of my story. And from there was Coco, went on to win an Oscar, as you know. Coco was unique in that we didn't even apply any distribution, any money behind the marketing of Coco. It was considered a brand deposit. We actually distributed it into Mexico with no budget, and because of the peoples and their the way that they just they pull for each other, the movie just took off widespread. We had to rethink our our strategy. We brought it back into America, applied resources behind it, and it went on to win the Oscar, as you know. And then there was Avengers Endgame, ended up surpassing Avatar as the highest grossing film in the history of Hollywood, $3.7 billion. So yeah, I've been very fortunate to be around great teams, because it wasn't me. It was a great team in the military. It was a great team at the studio who taught me the science behind the strategy. And yes, I digress. I yield back to the floor.
Thank you. Claudio, you work at the New Producers Academy. How can international casting be improved to ensure global representation?
In international casting, well, I will say that, like, I don't know if Kevin Spacey is still among the people. He said that he will put $1 billion, he said, for improve the film industry. I will say that definitely creating opportunities for people that normally don't have the means or the opportunities to come into the industry. If you will have people like Kevin Spacey, that will be very easy for him to raise $1 billion and give them to projects. I will not say my academy, but probably there is the equivalent of the New Producers Academy. There is probably thousands of examples around the world. And if those academies will be supportive in that way, then will be a snowball effect, that the industry will be much more sustainable and much more representative in that sense. Yeah.
Do you think you can reduce funding if you use AI properly?
I don't know if maybe maybe.
Yeah, it depends on the use case, right? So you're asking about budget. If budgets go down with the usage of AI. Of course, a lot of AI is being custom developed for specific use cases, right? So there's an investment to be made there. If you have something that's already available off the shelf, there could be a really significant win.
Yeah.
But that might not be the case. So that's really
no. I mean, if AI can replace people, then you need less funding for your company.
Yeah.
So you can move forward faster, maybe if you use it properly.
Yes. If that AI would be capable already of doing exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think the same goes for. I had a conversation with Neil earlier today about movie sets and special effects, right? Things from a sustainability perspective as well. Resources, of course, AI uses a lot of resources, water, etc., energy. But what are the resources that are being used to make a film? What's the carbon footprint?
Yeah, you cannot replace everybody.
Of a movie. I know, but I think it's an interesting, like we have to divvy up what the score is, but I don't think it's a clear-cut answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Yes. Where's the mic? She's coming.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Leticia. I'm a film director and writer from the Dominican Republic. And I just wanted to know if you're aware of any efforts that are being made to avoid AI being biased, because you mentioned this, and I think this is very important. I don't know exactly what's the right term, if you call them, trainers or supervisors, the people that are teaching the AI. But are you aware of any efforts that are being made to prevent this bias in ChatGPT?
Yeah, maybe, well, not specifically for the film industry, but I know that in Europe, the approach of ethical AI and explainable AI is something that has been put a lot of effort in. So basically they're saying we should always be able to backtrack how AI made certain decisions, and that way, of course, you can correct biased output of an AI system. But to be honest, that is something that's really strong in Europe, and but Europe is not the main player when it concerns AI development. That's the United States and China, of course. So these continents have different approaches to ethical approaches, and we're not sure who's going to win, because Europe is not the front runner now. But that is something that's going on now. There's been a lot of especially the EU, the Horizon programs are putting a lot of money actually in, and that will also be applicable to AI. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, we have another question in the back.
Hi there. I have two questions, or two parts of one question. The first one, there's so many possible benefits for AI, but I guess with consent not really being something discussed about in terms of deep fakes and the ability to use the likeness of someone with easy access to their visuals and voice and things like that. I guess one, from a tech perspective as well, how would you say we can combat that risk to people who their likeness could be easily stolen? And then the second part of that is from a producer and a director, and I guess a tech company's perspective as well. What can we do to protect our actors and our writers and the people that are out there that can have that done to them, I guess?
Yeah. Good question.
Good question.
Good question.
Maybe someone else now wants to say something.
Yeah.
My humble perspective, I will say lawyers to defend your IP, of course.
Yeah. And legislation, maybe?
Sorry?
Legislation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe there's need maybe in that case of some sort of legislations and policies as well in the film industry, 100%.
Okay, we have another one here.
Hi, my name is Eldridge. I'm a composer and conductor. I was wondering, one of the previous panel members had stated so beautifully that AI can be used to translate, make translations and replace people. But the downside, I think, is that hundreds, potentially thousands of people would be ending up without a job, and that hundreds and thousands of people wouldn't be able to feed their families. So I was wondering maybe in this panel, since I didn't get a chance to ask the question previously, if there could be an answer of what we could use the same AI to potentially help those people to stay in the business, or maybe even get them funded by having them sign into stock, maybe for the film industry, so that they can continue to feed their family. I was wondering what your opinion is about that.
That's a noble thought, yeah. Who wants to answer this? I want to answer, but it's not fine. No, you can answer. Simone.
All right. Yeah, I think technological advancement or any technological change, transformation, job changes are sort of inherent to that, right? So you see that throughout history, whenever new technology arises, that means that certain jobs disappear, new jobs get created. And that will certainly be the case with AI as well. Now, what the scale of that impact is going to be is hard to predict. But I think there will always be a new opportunity for people.
Yeah.
You just have to adjust. It's not that simple, but reskilling, upskilling is going to become very, very important. You have to adapt. But this isn't new. Yeah. Like this happened when we invented the steam engine. This happened when we invented internet. It's just rinse and repeat basically of what happens when we invent new tech.
Let me double down on what Simone was saying. I think it's very important and relevant that as a whole we embrace AI. It's not going anywhere. I think we have to wrap our mind around. You got to be that person that understand how it enhances what you do. Be the expert screenplay writer that learns how to feed the screenplay through the AI tool, and be able to identify some friction points. You have too many main characters, too many plots, too many and so forth, right? And be able to extract from that to use it as a tool that it makes the process of filmmaking more efficient. You know what I'm saying? It also is very cost saving, right? Look at it like that. Don't look at it as if it's public enemy number one. So be careful psychologically what label and title you put on it, because it will reinforce you stepping away from it, and that'll be what pushes you out of the industry, because you're behind, you're not on top of your game like you should be. So embrace AI in every part of it. Even when you think about, let me go to my world, which is distribution, right, where I speak to 10 filmmakers every day. And one of the things that everybody is missing, because everybody has the best screenplay in the world, right? But they don't have the resources behind it. So one of the things they have to do is put together a deck, which is your one sheet with your screenplay, your synopsis, along with some cover art, right? Well, you can use AI to develop these different cover arts for your screenplay, because the people who have the best deck to sit in front of an investor is the person that actually gets the money to greenlight their film. So use AI, just look at it the right way. Change is already here. AI is already teaching AI. You know what I'm saying? So every 30 days it's next level. It's 3.0, it's 4.0, it's 5.0. So wrap your mind around, you're gonna be the best producer using AI, the best AD using AI, the best director using AI. And the last bit of information I give you: if you're a producer, learn how to direct. If you're a writer, learn how to be a producer. Have multiple skills. Don't be a one-trick pony. You got to be a hybrid in today's world, right? You got to be able to do multiple things because everybody's looking for utility people who can pick up a gaffer, pick up this, pick up that, even set the craft table. You know what I'm saying? So open your mind to change, because change, like Simone said, it's inevitable, it's coming, it's here, and it'll change again, but be that person that accepts the change, and they start calling you the change agent, the person who can handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Thank you. To get back to your question, I think if a company can save money by firing people and replace them by AI, I don't think they will teach them AI and keep paying them. But it's a noble thought. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, actually, we're looking at a version of AI which uses sort of binary system, so the lights can be on and the light can be off. Mm-hmm. We are now entering a stage where quantum computers actually are entering. So quantum computers not only on and off, but you have sort of dim state actually also. And that basically means that you are able to generate more advanced computations. Mm-hmm. For the film industry, I can envision that it would mean you would have multiple versions actually created by of a movie simultaneously. Yeah. And you will have algorithms tailoring a specific version of a movie to your profile, which clicks into your preference, mm-hmm. and maybe even your narrative. So you have a very customized version of great movies, but again, we're just seeing the beginning actually of it now.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing to add to that, because earlier the question was asked, does AI always need to be prompted?
Yeah, no.
But we're moving beyond that. We have agentic AI. AI is already, like, it's autonomous. Like, it could do these things on its own accord already. That's already possible.
The only thing I would definitely look into, what are the resources that are being used to generate that AI? And many tech companies who are now in control have a sort of neo-colonialism actually. So they're extracting value, extracting data from users. Okay. They are using resources from countries such as Ukraine, actually also, but also Greenland, to create the infrastructure that's needed for AI. Yeah. And that gives a lot of power to those companies. And I don't think we want that.
Yeah, true.
I would also like to thank our panel moderator. Please give her a round of applause. Woo. Thank you. All right, this was the last and final panel. Thank you all for attending. We have to wrap up, unfortunately. So we cannot do any more questions. We're a little bit over time. So I would like to thank everyone for coming, and I will see you all tomorrow for the big show. Thank you so much.